from a series of unique FM 103.1, Oyebode, Oyeleye, and Dele Ajayi are on seat right now for Talking Point.
Good afternoon, listeners at home. You are onto your program, the weekly current affairs program, Talking Point, on Unique FM 103.1, Okesha, Ilesha. Today's program is special. It is an exclusive interview program. Our guest today is a university don and a professor of developmental mathematics based in the United States of America. He's a member of the Mathematical Association of America, in person of Professor Adekunle Lawal-Oloki. Prof, you are welcome onto this program.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm not alone onto this program. I have with me my colleague, Dele Ajayi. You are welcome onto this program.
Thank you. Let me quickly add that Prof is an indigene or Osun, state indigene or state of Osun, indigene in diaspora, native of Osogbo, to be particular.
Yes, as my colleague has said, Professor Adekunle Lawal-Oloki is a son of the soil, so to say, an indigene of the state of Osun. Professor, once again, you are welcome onto this program.
Thank you so much.
Well, Prof, you lived in the United States of America. You are back home. Is it on a visit, or do I say we are happy to receive you back now for the development of the state?
Thank you so much. I feel profoundly delighted to be here today. I feel very, very happy to be part of progress, to be part of this historical development going on in the state of Osun. I'm from Osogbo. I'm from the state of Osun. I often come home to be part of this initiative, this extraordinary and painstaking commitment on the part of the incumbent administration to transform the state. So let me just put it in one word, that I'm fully back home to support this progress, a monumental achievement going on in the state of Osun.
Thank you very much. Dele Ajayi.
Prof, you know, the environment is an important sector of the nation's economy. It tells much on our health, on our psychology, on our economic well-being. And so, we must always emphasize on how best we want the environment to be. As a man who had lived in abroad, can you compare our environment here with what is obtainable in USA?
Thank you so much. When you put into consideration what is obtainable in the United States in comparison with what we have in Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. The situations are mutually exclusive. It's a different ballgame. However, we still have a long way to go, but it takes the effort of the administration in Nigeria, the painstaking effort, the strong political will on the part of the administration in Nigeria to put in place modern infrastructural development, to put in place mechanism of modern society, to put in place those facilities that will make life so meaningful and habitable for the citizens of Nigeria. When you consider what is happening in the state of Osun for almost 3 years now, you see, we have a remarkable improvement we have a remarkable development, especially when it comes to aggressive investment in modern infrastructural development. What is obtainable now is quite remarkable, is quite extraordinary, is quite commendable. It is on this note that I want to commend the incumbent administration in the state of Osun. We've once had an administration on the ends of affair that spent close to 8 years in office with little or nothing to justify for its presence on the ends of affair.
Let's speak on environment. Don't let us go back. Don't let us go on excursion on history. The question is the environment as it is in Osun State or in the state of Osun today compared with where you are coming from, USA. Do we have some similarities now?
Now, we are trying to get there. So really, it's not yet at the same level, but gradually we are taking, we are making effort. The state of Osun is making effort, gradual and painstaking effort to get to that height. But per se, it's not the same yet. It's not really the same yet. But we are putting in place those elements of modern society that will ensure that state of Osun in no distance time will almost be at par with what is obtainable in modern society.
Well, as you have said, that what the previous administrations had not been able to do, at least this administration, the incumbent administration, has been able at least to start doing something.
Absolutely.
As far as urban renewal is concerned. Now, judging from our historical background, the cultural background, the state of economy, the previous physical outlook of the environment, there is no way you implement a renewal program without stepping on some toes. What I actually mean is that you don't build when you don't destroy. With what is going on now, how do you assess the success that the government may likely achieve on this, based on the attitude of our people?
Thank you so much. Really, what is happening now ought to have taken place some 100 years ago. It's quite disturbing, worrisome, and pathetic that the incumbent administration with the lean resources is trying to put in place those elements of modern society like aggressive infrastructural development, road inspection, road reconstruction, and what have you in 21st century. That is quite really disturbing. We cannot continuously and consistently live in a primitive society. That is why this administration is trying to go back on board and see that those roads are expanded, reconstructed. Those, because the pitiable condition, the deplorable condition of our road is quite alarming, is despicable, and that is why this administration is taking the bull by the horn. Exhibit, display, and show strong political will on the part of the incumbent administration to make sure that there is element of modern society, and there can never be element of modern society when those roads are dead trap, when they are at their most deplorable condition. People, although they have legitimate concern, the administration is trying to separate roads from buildings. They should try to exercise patience with the incumbent administration. There is no gain without pain. We are going through this pain. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's not for life. So we need to sacrifice today because of tomorrow. It's not because of you. It's not because of me. It's because of us and the unborn generation. We need to do things in the right way. We need to do things for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of us, for the betterment of unborn generation, and to make this state be a worthy state among its peers.
The argument against you, those of you who live in abroad, is that most of you don't feel like coming back home to develop your state, your hometown. You stay up there and speak grammar, you condemn, you criticize. So now that you are here in the state of Osun, how best do you think you can help this administration?
Thank you so much. As regard the Nigerians in diaspora, I want to say at this point that I, Professor Lawal-Oloki, I'm not oblivious with what is obtainable at home. I come home often. I'm in constant touch with my grassroots, with my people. I'm in consistent touch with what is obtainable at home. I don't go to bed every single day in the United States without reading Nigerian newspaper. I read all the newspaper. I even go to Osun Defender. I read Sarah Reporter. I read everything. So to keep in touch with what is happening at home. So I'm not oblivious. I know what is happening at home, and I consistently and constantly come home. At least 3 times a year, I visit Nigeria. Anytime I come to Nigeria, I don't leave my route. I don't leave my town, Osogbo. I stay. So I'm really in firm grip of what is obtainable at home. So we really have to commend the commitment of the incumbent administration.
Well, you see, the present administration, when it started the ongoing initiative, that is Urban Renewal Program, there were whoos and cries everywhere. What do you have for the people? What do you want to tell the people as far as what is going on now actually is painful? But as you have said, we will all enjoy it at the end of the day.
Yes.
But if we people are telling them you are from somewhere, an advanced place over the globe,
yeah,
what do you want to tell our people?
I want to really advise people. At this point, I want to really say it that I'm even one of the victims of this separation of building from road. My dad's house has been demarcated now to be separated from road. My granddad's house, the family house, has also been demarcated to be separated from road. So, and we really have to support, because this is a critical moment in the life of the state. This is a critical moment in the life of the state when this state is in desperate need of life support to safeguard the state from the brinks of backwardness, from the brinks of primitive society, from the brinks of failure. That is why this administration is doing it. No matter how painful the plight of the victims, they must try to support the administration, exercise some patience, give this administration every commitment it deserves, in order for this administration to put in place those facilities, element of modern society, because we are still going to benefit it at long run. I once said it, there is no gain without pain. What we are passing through is just a temporary phase of our life. It will never be permanent. And I need to add at this point that considerable proportion, if not all, the victims of this separation of road from building, almost all of them have been compensated. Almost all of them that have required papers have been reliably compensated by the incumbent administration. That is to tell you that this administration is responsive, and sensitive to the plight of suffering masses, to the plight of the poor, to the plight of the vulnerable, to the plight of ordinary citizens. So we need to just calm down and support this administration in order for the administration to aggressively, heavily invest with lean resources available to the administration, invest on modern infrastructural development.
Prof, you have said you always read Nigerian newspapers abroad.
Yes.
And I want to believe also that you read foreign newspapers too.
Absolutely.
The belief has been that the foreign media have been partial, biased against Africa. What is on ground is different from what they publish over there. Now that you come home regularly, can you juxtapose the opinion of the foreign media with what is on ground here in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. The foreign media, they are trying to portray Nigeria, or let me say Africa, the way that they perceive it, or the way that they believe Africa is to them. Really, sincerely speaking, to be blunt, when we put into consideration what is happening in Nigeria, I'm not talking about state of Osun now. I'm talking of Nigeria as a whole. Like Boko Haram insurgency, epileptic power supply, deplorable road condition, what have you, education, science and tech. You see, the central government, has lost focus. The primary obligation of any federal government, any government at the center, is the safety of life and properties of the citizen. Any government that failed to do that has failed in its obligation to the people. That is because power belongs to the people. You keep power as a custodian of power. People deserve to be protected. When power is entrusted to you as the president of any country, you must safeguard the life and properties of the people. Now, what do we have in Nigeria? We have Boko Haram insurgency. On daily basis, they are slaughtering people. They are killing people. And government is not doing anything cogent. I heard just of recent that they are trying to compensate the insurgent. That is ridiculous. That is barbaric. That is insane. In a civilized community, you don't compensate criminals. But you don't compensate the terrorists.
The American government is trying to negotiate with the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda in Iraq.
No. American government don't negotiate. Wait, let me tell you. I live in United States for years. I monitor foreign news and I monitor every single news. There is no way you can reward criminals. There is no way you can compensate bad behavior. That criminality will never stop. They set up a committee just of recent, committee to negotiate. They are not even talking about how to compensate the victim of Boko Haram insurgency. Is that a civilized community? Is that how things should be done? They set up a political panel. A panel, because they want to suck the country dry. Enough is enough. We can't continuously do the same thing and we expect different results.
So you support the foreign media?
No. I'm not saying the foreign media, they need to be... let me tell you. Let me use myself as an example. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a product of Nigeria system. Educated in Nigeria. Though did some research overseas. I was given the job when I got to the United States. I was not treated differently because of my accent or the color of my skin. The US government gave me a job based on the content of my character, not because of the color of my skin. So that is to tell you, if foreign media is portraying Nigeria image in bad light, we need to muscle, courage, to tie the stem of violence, corruption, kleptocratic leadership, the bane of Nigeria development, mediocrity. We need to stem it. So we need to display that extraordinary commitment, painstaking commitment to develop the country, to do justice to what is on ground, compensate the victim of Boko Haram insurgency. The committee that was set up to compensate the insurgent is just an attempt to involve enough of these parasites stealing of of our Commonwealth.
Okay, Prof.
Well, Prof,
Yeah.
I want to take you up again
Yeah.
at the federal level.
Yeah.
Democracy is about people.
Yeah.
It is also about quality leadership,
Yeah.
constitutions and constitutionalism, the rule of law, political discipline, the construction and nurturing of democratic values, building strong and viable political institutions, and giving hope to the ordinary person. If we have to look at the way things are going in Nigeria today, in fact, giving hope to the ordinary people is becoming what do I call it? Is no more a reality. Do we have to blame the leadership alone? What about the followership? Some people elected these people into government. When they got there, they failed us. What do you have to tell the electorate?
Thank you so much. The electorate, let me tell you, the electorate, to be fair to them, the electorate, they have suffered enough. When we have good leadership, there will be good followership. We do not have good leadership, especially at the central level. So that is why things are everything is just going just going against the system. Let me give you an example. In Nigeria, the central government, the 2013 budget, less than 10% of the budget is going on education. Over 70% of the budget is going on recurrent expedition. Almost 50% of the recurrent is going on the overhead. That means less than 5% of Nigerians, they are living in excessive opulence. Remarkable proportion, almost 95% of Nigerians, they are wallowing in abject penury, in perpetual poverty. What do you expect? They are being impoverished. The political elites, they are intentionally, deliberately putting the electorate, the masses, they are in bondage, so to say. So that is why, instead of trying to create an enabling environment for business to strive in the country, instead of the government to try to create opportunities for youths to get better job, gainfully employed, there is no opportunity for them. Instead of them to invest aggressively in youth and youth development. Investment in youth is the worthwhile investment. It's not optional. We need to invest aggressively in youth, because investment in youth open up windows of opportunities to them. It makes them to be meaningful to their country, and it makes them to give back to the economy and contribute to the economy. That is how economy grows. Economy never grows when you have less than 5% of Nigerians living in excessive opulence at the expense of the downtrodden, at the expense of the suffering masses, at the expense of the poor. That is why I blame the leadership, the followership, because they are in perpetual bondage. They are poor. They are poor. That is why we as a country, Nigeria as a country, the leadership, especially leadership at the center, must try to put in place things that will put smile on people's face.
Well, Professor, the government of the state of Osun, despite its mega resources, has embarked on various developmental initiatives for the state, for the development of this state. We have the Okmaima, that is the knowledge tablet distributed to secondary school students in the state of Osun. He has his agriculture development initiative, the fish, the animal husbandry, and so on and so forth. Then we have the Agba Osun, whereby the government gives the elderly people in the society stipends at the end of every month. We have the old meal, which the government has provided lunch. Do I call it lunch? For pupils in the primary school. We have the OES cadet, government has employed some thousands of the youths in the state just to reduce unemployment. Then we have the old tech development of science and technology among the adults. Now, when you came back and you heard about all this and you saw for yourself, what comparison did you make with the advanced country where you normally reside? Are we going to the promised land with all these initiatives?
Thank you so much. You know what? Why I pick interest in this administration, let me just tell you. This administration did something when the administration came on board about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, when the administration came on board, November 26, 2010 to be specific, there was high level of apprehension among the people, breakdown in social justice, unprecedented level of unemployment, job insecurity, deplorable road conditions, considerable proportion of citizens wallowing in abject penury, economic deficit, budget imbalance. The administration came on board. That was a critical moment in the life of the state, when the state was in desperate need of life support. When the state was in desperate need of job-starting commitment from a responsible and responsive government, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola came on board. He started immediately. You know what he did? Within 100 days in office, created Osun Youth Empowerment Scheme, Employment Scheme. Oh yes. Put beneficiaries, cadets, give them job, gave them opportunities, gave them income, increased their purchasing power. The money went back into the economy to jumpstart the economy. That is how economy grows. The money is not going out of the state. The money stayed in the state. That increased the GDP per capita. The state government also increased the GDP growth of the state. Tactically slowed down the formation of his cabinet in order to cut and remarkably reduce deficit, save money, and put those money on modern infrastructural development. When it comes to prudent management of lean resources for the betterment of the state, this administration has performed exceedingly well, and we need to acknowledge that. Don't let us be partisan. Put party politics aside. Let's call a spade a spade. The administration embarked on road construction, rehabilitation, reconstruction, and expansion. The administration started building school structures, refurbishment of school structures, the dilapidated school structures. The administration put in place free uniform for students, now at remarkably subsidized rate for students. Free lunch for students. Opoimo, the computer tablet. I saw something of Opoimo like about 3-4 years ago in China, to be specific. The second time I'm going to see Opoimo like is in the state of Osun. That is commendable. And what government, especially the government at the center, should bury its ego, bury the ego, come to state of Osun to understudy the Opoimo and what is obtainable in the state of Osun. How this administration did it That is investment in education. I just said it. There is no country or society that will grow without aggressive investment in youth. How do you invest in youth? You must invest in education. Education, especially investment in mathematics, science, and technology. Any state, any country that fail to invest in science, mathematics, and technology will be at the mercy of other responsible and responsive state. That is why we need to commend the incumbent administration in the state of Osun.
I think it is right time to take the program to domains of our listeners at home. Maybe our listeners who want to call, want to contribute on the program. The number to dial is 07098147944.
07098147944.
Prof, while we are waiting for calls, let's now go to your person. What actually do you have for your people? The people of Osogbo, the people of the state of Osun. Are you coming back to join politics? Or do you want to just contribute from academic sector? Or you are coming up to really contribute fully to reside here in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. I'm back to reside here in Nigeria. Because I don't like when I see people suffering. I'm a technocrat. I'm in academics. I'm a top professional in the United States. But I think if I can do that to improve socio-economic and intellectual development of the United States, the greatest country in the world, I can do that. I can do more in Nigeria.
Nigeria is the greatest country in Africa.
In Africa.
Nigeria.
I can do more in Nigeria. So that informed my decision to come home and to begin to make impact by trying to support the incumbent administration.
Are you in politics?
Yes, I'm in politics. I'm in politics and I'm trying to look into aspect of lawmaking, because law is an instrument of social transformation. A society is as good as the law governing that society. And we need lawmakers with enhanced intellectual endowment, exposure, with enriched capability to make law. Because if there is no good law, there will be never better society. So that is why I'm considering that aspect. But the primary aim now is to support the incumbent administration.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name? Where do you call from, sir?
Yeah, this is Comrade Kajim Adebi Yologwela. I'm calling from the Osun State.
Okay, thank you very much. What's your question or contribution?
I want to this professor for this elaborate discussion.
Thank you, sir.
I want to ask Professor now, sir, in comparison now, sir, are you saying that the previous regime is a failure in the state of Osun? That's number one question, sir. And number two, sir, what do you perceive will happen after 2015 at the federal level between APC and PDP, sir? That's my question, sir.
What's your second question, sir?
That what do you perceive will happen from 2015 at the federal level between APC and PDP compared what they are doing now with what we obtained in 2015?
The first question is
what will happen in 2015.
Yeah.
I think to all the political parties, APC inclusive.
Yeah. The first question to say, I'm not going to, at this point, I'm not going to cast aspersion on the previous administration, because the immediate past administration tried within its ability to discharge to the extent of what they know, to the extent of their intellectual capability. So let us try to just forget about that and move forward, forge ahead. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to support the incumbent administration in order for him to consolidate on his monumental achievement to the people, on his ability to put in place those mechanisms of modern society, on his ability to discharge on the yearning and aspiration of the people and to meet their demand. That is why I'm obligated to support that landmark achievement on the part of the incumbent administration. Now come to your second question about APC, PDP, and all other political parties. APC is a mega party. Not just a mega party, is the biggest, the largest mega party ever in the history of Nigeria. That is number one. And number two, is bringing an alternate political platform, a credible political platform, because we need credible and strong opposition to rescue this country from the brinks of collapse. That is why this APC, the formation of APC, is a welcome development. So that we to a great extent try to inject sanity into the polity, because APC is bringing credible representation on the table, and that is a gain for our democracy. Victory for the democracy.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name? Where do you call from?
I'm calling from Ekiti.
Which Ekiti?
Ado Ekiti.
Your name, sir?
Professor, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Is Professor a grassroots politician of this country?
Yes.
Okay, my second question goes like this: that what kind of politics are we practicing in Nigeria, and on which ground? I think you have gone far and wide. Maybe you should just tell the Nigerians the type of politics we are practicing in Nigeria. And going via what the women, something they did, was not day before yesterday in Abuja.
Yesterday.
When the women were talking about 2015, when their children is inside the house, strikes for about a month plus now. So let the professor say something about the practicing politics we have in Nigeria.
I think if you can understand this question, sir. Students of the universities in Nigeria are out of classes.
I know.
More than 4 weeks ago.
Yes, I know.
And our Nigerian women leaders were busy dancing in Abuja yesterday. What type of politics do we practice?
Thank you. That is a very good question. That is why I said it's disturbing, worrisome, and quite unfortunate that we are having to go through this process over and over again. I said, you can't continuously do the same thing and you expect different results. The government, as it were, the central government now, they have been on the ends of affairs for quite some time, with little or no result. So that is why 2015, we need to think twice before you cast your vote. Cast your vote for a president that will be able to fix the mess. A president that is more responsive, sensitive to the plight of the suffering masses, especially the youth. Youth, seriously speaking, I'm not happy when I see youth roaming around the street, when I see youth that's supposed to be the future leaders, the youth that's supposed to be on campus studying, off campus because of this recklessness, because of these people that are treating the masses with disdain, engaging in parachute stealing of commonwealth, and stealing with impunity. That is why 2015 is a critical moment in the life of the country. We youths, we must pull hands together to put in place credible leadership. The people that are dancing, the women that are dancing, to be specific, they are not really grassroots women. They are not the poor. They don't know where the shoe pinches. They are political women that are trying to pay their paymaster, to satisfy their paymaster.
Prof.
That is not the truth.
Maybe I should add that the women did not only dance, they also canvassed for certain percentage of political positions in Nigeria. They also they praised the president for doing so much for them. They also said they needed more during their forum yesterday. So let me now ask this question.
Okay.
How best do you think government in Nigeria can treat the Nigerian women? Can they also rise to certain positions? Do you men give them the opportunity
to rise to certain positions in the society?
Thank you so much. I don't have anything against women or a woman rising to any position of leadership in the country. You know what? When you train a male child, you are training a family. When you train a female child, you are training a community. Investment in women or a male child education is a worthwhile investment. What I'm saying, I do not have anything against women rising to any level. We must treat women equally as we treat men, because both of us, men and women, are part of society and they must be part of decision-making body. But what I'm saying, the women that are dancing around in Abuja, why are they dancing around? That is insane. That is ridiculous. Why are they dancing around?
To them, they are doing something sensible. They might not be insane.
Because they are trying to satisfy their paymaster, which is the central government, the president, so to say.
Professor.
Yeah.
Let me come back to this. You see, I said earlier on that the government of the state of Osun is investing so much on education, agriculture, Agba Osun initiative, yes, this, that. But when you now consider Osun State as just a fraction, a small unit of the whole federation, with all these efforts of Governor Rauf Aregbesola, don't you sympathize with the governor? With all his efforts, with all of this, but the larger part of the country, they don't believe in all these initiatives. Do you think the outcome of these initiatives can be well felt when the upper floor does not believe in his progressive initiatives?
That is why
I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand. What you are saying, that effort of state of Osun commitment is just negligible.
Yes.
When you compare with the Nigeria as a whole. That is what you are trying to point out. But that is why I said 2015 election is so critical in the life of the country. If we must get it right, we must change leadership. The political leadership, the party leadership at the central government must be changed. We must put in place credible, responsible government. We cannot be ruling the country because of good luck.
No leader will tell you he's not credible.
What I'm saying,
every politician will say.
Wait, when you have deplorable federal roads, when you have epileptic power supply, when you have Boko Haram insurgency killing on daily basis, when you have high level of unemployment, when you have
but Prof, remember that all these things did not start in a day. In fact, some of these problems were also inherited by the present federal administration.
The present administration, even if all the problems started thousands of years ago, once we are there, the credit and discredit of any administration will be attributed to the leadership, not the previous administration. Once you are there on the arms of affair, you are responsible. What I'm saying is that any president that is there must try to do everything meaningfully well to justify its presence in the office. What happens when you have a country that relies heavily on sales of gas and crude oil? Nigeria is a mono economy. The leadership at the central level, they are probably lazy. They don't want to diversify the economy because they have free money. That is why Nigeria can never grow.
What is your advice?
My advice
Yes.
is for us, Nigerians. This is the critical moment in the life of the country. 2015 is fast approaching. We need change in leadership. We need a leader with enhanced intellectual endowment, exposure, right sense of judgment, and pedigree, credibility, integrity to make decisions and to direct the affair of the country in the best part.
Well, listeners at home, this is the convenience spot where we have to draw a curtain onto this program.
It is
program, talking points. Professor
Adekunle
Lawal-Oloki has been our guest on the program, and he has tried as much as possible to give a comparative analysis of what actually should be the responsibility of government in form of a social responsibility and the development of the entire citizenry, both in the United States of America and in Nigeria here. Professor, we thank you very much. God bless you. My colleague is Dele Ajayi. Anything to say?
It has been nice. It has been interesting discussing with Professor Adekunle Lawal-Oloki. Many thanks to you.
My name is Oyebode Oyeleye and
Dele Ajayi.
God bless.